Look at what is going on in society. We do not have what we need as a basic need, and you expect us to be seeing you take the knee like Nancy Pelosi did the other day, and you're kneeling wearing the kente, like dressing and whatnot. That doesn't say anything. Demonstrations and policy changes are different. So that happened with the woman, and where her brothers beat the boy to death. He died, she grew up, she's old now. She then said it didn't happen. A situation like that, I mean, still situation. Check that out. If you don't know, Google it. Serious. It's in the judicial system can do it.
I beg your pardon?
Bro, the world is in a whole lot of wrong places right now, so please excuse me. Thank you very much. But yeah, we've got a lovely topic today, and it's on the George Floyd situation. We know it's a very polarizing situation, but let's talk about George Floyd's death, obviously.
What do you think is needed to change? Systematic racism?
Bro, what a way to kick this off. Oh my days. Systematic racism, yeah? I hope you guys know about this, but even if you don't, or you don't know the full story, let me give you a bit from research I've done. So basically, you know, America post-slavery, yeah? When they had to rebuild the whole nation, there are things called red lines, yeah? These are places that were built to just benefit a certain race and people of a certain economical standard. So black people were basically redlined. Their places were redlined in such a way that they were never going to have the benefits of this crowd over here. This crowd B and crowd A were different people. Crowd B, the blacks, yeah, and crowd A, the white, were situated in different places that had different benefits. In crowd B, the blacks, you couldn't have bank loans, you couldn't have funds, you couldn't go and just have a lovely college education, you couldn't have access to normal securities that people need. If you know what Maslow is, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, at the bottom, the very first, the base, is our basic needs that we need to survive. Bro, we did not even have this after the whole slavery situation. So black people are in every right to still be protesting that, yo, look at what is going on in society. We do not have what we need as a basic need, and you expect us to be seeing you take the knee like Nancy Pelosi did the other day, and you're kneeling wearing the kente, like dressing and whatnot. That doesn't say anything. Demonstrations and policy changes are different. So you see the black people, the way their life is set up, you can't own a house, you can't go to an amazing college, you can't even have the basic benefits that these white people enjoy. So when you have a person from team B and a person from team A grow up, already team A is giving him a huge gap. So you can't expect this guy from team B to actually have such a wonderful situation in life. So that is why we call it systematic racism, because it's how it's built. It's a system. People get into this kind of houses and complexes. You don't see a white man say you must live here. The cost for living here is much lower than here. And how is it much lower? Because it's not invested in that much. The schools here are not funded that well. The schools here though, they're funded well. So what do you get? No funds here, no good education. Now we can't make a whole lot of money, so we can't even move to these areas. You only have like a 1% of that 1% that actually move over here and then start to create another generation of like education and wealth. But because it's a systematic situation, we can't point a finger at anyone. We can't say, oh, he did it, or he's at fault. Nah, it's a built system. So now that's the difficult part. And how can we solve this? How can we solve this? I think, in my opinion, we go back to the root. How can we fund these places, these deprived areas and neighborhoods? How can we fund them in such a way the education is far better? How can we make sure the housing is far better? When you have amazing education and amazing housing, basic needs for a young child growing up, even though the father might not be there, but he has a home he's comfortable in, he's going to a school that is really getting tutored well in, bro, crime will definitely reduce. Black men will stop getting incarcerated. It will be so much more clear that we can tell that from just this little tweaks, we can see that the black society is getting better. But guess what? Are they gonna do it though? That's what we're hoping for. That's why people are protesting. So hopefully that happens. So your question asking me, how can we solve that systematic racism? Please, one, build better schools, yeah, give people an affordable accommodation, let them live in a very good environment, yeah, so all this disgusting mindsets of wanting to rob and steal and whatnot doesn't flow in their head, so they have the same opportunity as this white boy growing up here. Those two things, yeah, trust me, that will go a long way. Education, housing, come on, jobs. When we have good education, of course we're gonna get good jobs, so it's all going to link together. That's what I think about that, boy. So I went to deep.
As a privileged white person, I know I could go anywhere, and for me, I see the police as someone who's supposed to defend me, obviously. But this situation made me realize not everyone has the same experience with authorities like this. Honestly, that's true. What changes do you think is needed in the justice system and in the police? It's so unfair that black citizens don't feel safe to leave home.
It's crazy, honestly. Like, to be fair, people do not feel safe to leave their homes. It is tragic. It's very painful. Like, even I know a family member that's got a Glock. Like, he got a gun, fam. Like, just last week, he literally had to. He had to. What do you expect him to do? Walk around the street, and if a police pulls him up, he could probably die? Nah. Come on now. Black Lives Matter. He took the matter into his hands. Trust me. Like, bro, that was crazy. But yeah, you talked about the judicial system, yeah? Honestly, what I feel is we can see signs of this protest really impacting the world. I mean, donations from 175 countries, up to $13 million for Georgefloyd's family, having a golden coffin when he went on his burial. Like, Mayweather obviously paid for that whole situation. Kanye West donated $2 million. Now Michael Jordan, yeah, even though he wasn't even being clear, said you donate 10 million for 10 years, 100 million, yeah. Something tells me Michael will probably do some business that will profit him back. But these other two people gave and did not expect nothing. Michael Jordan's one seems sketchy, I'm not gonna lie, but notwithstanding, people are doing something, and the protest all over the world. Like, this is the first time all 50 states in America have protest at the same damn time. Pardon me, at the same time. Yeah, first time. So Georgefloyd, his impact is, bro, we're talking Malcolm X, MLK level, if not more. Because, bro, the whole world did not see those guys. There wasn't social media. But now, bro, we can see this. It is so blatant and clear. People watch the man die for 8 minutes. It has never happened. Do you understand? So because clearly people have never seen a guy die for 8 good minutes, so it's a different scenario. The whole world is in on this. So the justice system, they might as well realize the whole world knows what is going on, and I think they should just get better policing. Yeah, get police officers in places that they can relate to the people of that community. Yeah, when you have a police, oh, I know Bob, I know James, they're just down the street. Yeah, he cannot then just kill you and say, oh, I was scared. You've known each other for years. So those are the kind of situations we need, and the judicial system has to make sure they're at a better position to actually investigate thoroughly, instead of doing things in such a case where 20 years later we'll realize, oh, this black person didn't do that crime, oh, this person did what. And still, that situation that happened with the woman, and where her brothers beat the boy to death, he died, she grew up, she's old now, she then said it didn't happen. A situation like that, I mean, still situation. Check that out. If you don't know, Google it. Serious. Nah, so obviously the judicial system can do
I beg your pardon?
a lot better, and that is an example. So finally,
documentary on Netflix, and it showed the situation of a guy who migrated from his country in Africa to the US, and he was shot at his door by policemen for looking suspicious. Wow. Newsflash, my god. Even though he was just leaving his apartment to go to college, why situations like this keep repeating over and over again? What measures do you think should be taken?
Like I said, police officers that are relatable, that people know from the environment. If I'm a police officer and I police the place I grew up in, I would never just shoot a man because I'm scared, because obviously I know most of the people there already. Now imagine taking someone to a whole different area where it doesn't even know anyone. Now you have excuses for such a situation where you just kill people for no reason. So guys, honestly, I think that's what we should do. I honestly think police officers should be placed at places where they know the people who live there. Honestly, I think it's a better situation than saying, oh, there's a risk of police officers colluding with offenders because they know them. Now we can take that risk as far as people are not dying mercilessly. Come on now. Honestly, and I hope a change is really there to come. Thank you guys so much. Have a lovely day. Daniel, I'm out.